Hey everyone, and welcome back to the She's Champion podcast. She's Champion is a podcast in a growing community that empowers Black women to live the life that they desire. We do that by focusing on self improvement, self care, health, fitness, mental health, finances, and more. We understand that everyone is different, and She's Champion focuses on bringing a sisterhood of women together to uplift each other and to help them find resources to get active on their goals. As She's Champion, we are competitors, and I don't mean in a masculine way. I mean, we have to go out and get what we want. As a Black woman, we should take time to focus on ourselves first in fitness, finances, mental health, and self care, and do what we need to do to personally level up and gain the skills that's going to take us to the next level. As She's Champion, we put in the work and we take action. We make ourselves competitive in all aspects of our life and we compete because she is champion. If this is something that you're interested in, please follow us on our social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And you can follow us at She's Champion to stay connected and get active. Disclaimer that the content discussed on this channel should not be construed as medical or mental health advice, nor is this information a substitute for professional medical or mental health advice, diagnosis, expertise, or treatment. If you or any other person has a medical or mental health concern, you should consult with your healthcare provider and or seek other professional medical treatment. Welcome back, guys, to episode 3. And I'm so excited to get in today's topic. Happy December, first of all. We're going into the new year. It's almost Christmas, so I'm just going to say happy holidays. And let's just get into today's topic. So today we're going to be talking about side missions, side quests, side projects, personal projects, all that good stuff. And if you guys don't know what it is or don't know what I'm referring to when I'm talking about side quests, some examples I have is basically the luxury of pursuing your side projects because you already completed your main mission. So, most of the time when we're referring to people who are completing their side quests because they completed their main mission, most of the time we're referring to celebrities. Most celebrities have the money and the time to do what they want to do when they want to do it. And with us people who are kind of just working day to day, sometimes we don't have any time or don't put any time to try to complete our side projects. We have tunnel vision. We're so focused on going to plan A or point A. We're so focused on going to point A that we don't have any time to go to point B or point C or point 8.1. We're focusing strictly on the goal. But I'm here to say that I think that 2023 should be about people spending more time on other things outside of their main goals. And when I think of celebrities who have the luxury of pursuing side projects, and we have seen them do it, I think about a lot of basketball players like Shaq, retired basketball players. It looked like his mission in life was to, play basketball. Like he completed his main goal, and now he's out here doing other things. Like he's on a podcast. He's like a sports reporter. I know he used to do music. Like he done so many different things. And to me, it's amazing. Like when I see certain people and they talk about all the different things they've done in life, and then they still look so youthful as well. It just makes me happy and gives me hope to realize like you don't have to be a one trick pony. Like you don't have to just be this. You could be so much more because the truth is we are complex and we have a lot of layers to us, and society will try to make you think that whatever you sign up for, like that's what you're going to be, period. So if you decided at 18 that you wanted to be a teacher and you got your education and now you're in your 20s or your 30s and you're still pursuing teaching, but you're interested in other things, society will make you feel like, nope, you signed a dotted line, you already went to school, you got to pay us back, you're a teacher, period. You can't be nothing else, you can't do nothing else, this is who you are. But um I just love that people who, but the thing is, like, we don't have to live that way. And we're seeing that a lot with celebrities. We are seeing people like Kevin Hart, work so hard to become a comedian. And then we see him acting. And now we see him, doing things with like health and wealth. So it's kind of like you don't have to just do one thing because let's be honest, a lot of us have so many things that we're interested in, and we could be inspired at any moment to just make a little shift or just or add on to who we are. It doesn't mean we have to stop being this, but we could just add it on. So if a person say, hey, I love my job at teaching and I want to continue to be a teacher, but I wanna dabble in this, I wanna do this, I wanna do that and explore this, you can. And I'm here, and that's what this episode is about, to say that, hey, you're allowed to pursue your other side projects. And these side projects don't have to be things that society feel is important. If you feel like it's important to you, then go ahead and do it. Your side project doesn't have to be involved with getting another, degree or joining a boot camp or getting another like job. It literally could be something so simple, like I always want to know, like I always wanted to paint. So I'm going to do some painting for fun, or I'm going to watch some YouTube videos to really enhance my skills in painting because I haven't painted in years and this is what I want to try. This is what I want to do. And it's completely okay. And that is one of the reasons why I enjoy, seeing celebrities, be more, do more, and do different things. And they don't stay boxed in. Like, all my barbs out here, do you hear me, with Nicki Minaj? Like, I'm not a girl that can never be defined. Or just people try to box me in, paint their own picture, then they crop me in. Like that that lyric spoke to me when I first heard Pink Friday. It spoke to me. So like this is just, so I'm just here to really say, like, y'all, 2023 is coming. Yes, you can still be very focused on your goals, but let's create a space where we could accomplish our side quests. Because the thing is, let's be honest, we know what's going to happen when we accomplish, like when we have our tunnel vision and focus on our big goals. Like, we know what's going to happen. If you put the work in, if you have faith, you know you're going to achieve in certain things. Kind of like, like for me, I know for sure if I continue to, like, for college, if I continue to show up in class, do my assignments, turn them in, get good grades, we know eventually you are going to pass your classes and you're eventually going to graduate with your degree. So we know that. It's almost like written in stone that if you focus, discipline, and do great in that, you're going to succeed. But the thing is, right? That's what most people in this world only really focus on, is their career and their education. But what about while you're in school, you decide to try other extracurricular activities? Like, what happened to that? I remember in high school when you had to choose an elective, when you had to choose like an extracurriculum activity to complete. Um, like, that's what we need to do as adulting now. Like, what is your electives? Let's sign you up. And electives, i.e., hobbies. Like, what is your hobbies? Like, that's what we need as an adults now. Like, we need it. It can't just be sleep, home, work, sleep, home, work, or whatever, sleep, work, home. Like, it can't. it can't. It's giving me the whole SpongeBob and Squidward meme when Squidward was just going to work home playing clarinet. I mean, look, even Squidward had a hobby. Okay, some people don't even have a hobby these days, but that is why we are here to create a space to do our hobbies. Now, we like let's get into it. I really think we need to make this a thing. Like adults, you guys, let's get into our electives. Like let's find something for us. But and when I another note I want to make is like some people probably just like don't even have the space or the time to know what else they want to pursue, and that is completely okay. Sometimes I think our side quests are the things that we always wanted to do but we never did, and I feel like it shows up in many ways. I also think our side quests are not only things that we always want to do, but things that we are naturally good at and we've been good at for a long time, but we neglected it. So when I think of like your natural ability, I really want to say like that is your gift. Like that is the gift that was given to you. And most of the time, you don't lose that gift over time. I feel like, when you're a child or a teenager or or any point of your life, but we're going to focus on like when you're a kid, there are a lot of things that you're interested in. And some people feel like, these things you'll outgrow them as you get older. And that is true. There are certain things that you outgrow. We outgrow things all the time at any age. But there are just certain things when you're younger that it's just a part of your character. Like it's just a part of your whole makeup. And you don't outgrow them. Like, even if you don't do anything to enhance your skill set in that specific area, you're still naturally good at. And if you have something that you did when you was younger and you still could do that till this day and you didn't put any like effort into this, like I really think that's your gift. And I feel like if that is your gift and that is something that you want to do and you want to pursue, why not make that your side quest in pursuing that and seeing what could happen? Because let's be honest, we know what happens when we stay at our full-time job. We know what happens when we continue to pursue our education. You're going to, probably get a good job or at least a job in your field. But we don't know what happens when we take some time to to nurture. We don't know what happens when we take some time to nurture our gifts and see what that grows into. I like to think that our gifts are actually uncapped. So like when you go to work, those things are typically capped. It's capped at salary, it's capped at its limitations on what you're allowed to do and the ideas you may have because you don't own it. But your gifts is something that is in your possessions. It's literally uncapped. You could go anywhere with it. You can increase it. You could make it new. You could do so many things, and I don't think it should be neglected. I think you should pursue it. So you can still be focused on your career very much or the things that you want to do, but take some time to like see where your gifts lead you to. It might not, maybe it could, who knows where it will lead you to? We don't know. Or who knows what type of fulfillment and reward and feeling that you get from it. I think it's worth trying. And I'm going to take that step. I think that's what my 2023 is going to be about. So a little bit about myself. is I worked a lot in the mental health field. That's the industry that I'm in. And I'm currently in grad school, and I have about 4 semesters left or a year left of my graduate program. However, when I was a kid at 10, I knew that I wanted to be a creative person. I knew I wanted to be a film director and a screenwriter. I had a vision for making movies, for writing movies, character development, all that good stuff. So the fact that I wrote a play, try to get everybody in my neighborhood to be in it, and I used to go in cars and like when I not cars, but when I used to um ride home with my parents or go anywhere and the music would be playing, I'll be daydreaming about how I would do the music video. And um, every time like we would watch a movie, I would check out the credits and I would like try to write down some of the names of the certain things I was interested in, and I would Google the person name. Like I was very much into film directing and screenwriting. Of course, um, that's not what I went to school for. Obviously, society tells you avoid those things. However, maybe if I was just born a little bit after that and saw how YouTube was blowing up, maybe that would have gave me a little bit more motivation and confidence that videos and editing was going to be the next big gig. But it doesn't matter because I still was pursuing some video editing and for clients outside of me getting my education. And the thing is, like, obviously I'm not a big director, but I was able to try something new, learn something new, create relationships with people, and be in a different space for a moment. So, I was in getting my bachelor's degree in psychology, but I was able to just be in another space for a little while and learn and try new things. And what I think it does is that it just add to your story. It just like doing other things outside of what you're supposed to do. It just makes your story worth reading, your book worth picking up, you know? It makes it more enjoyable. It gives you a lot of different perspectives. And we could use this whole thing with focusing on your big mission and then also making time for your side mission. For any, excuse me, you can use it for any part of your life. It doesn't have to be a creative thing, because I do understand a lot of people are not creative, and so it doesn't have to be this whole thing where big mission is go to school, get a job, and side mission is I want to be a painter or artist or influencer. Like it doesn't have to be creative. It could be in other areas. I like, for example, when I was in undergrad and I got to my 4 year university, my goal was just to strictly focus on getting my education and leaving, right? No room. I wasn't allowing no space for anything else until in one of my classes, my anthropology teacher had mentioned, like, if you're in school and you're paying for this, he basically said take advantage of every little tiny bit of opportunity. And I don't know, that woke me up, that woke something up, and because of that I decided to, I'll say, well, let me make some friends and let me join some societies and let me do these study abroad experiences. These are experiences that I was closing myself from just because I want to focus on getting to point A. But guess what? I still got to point A with a 3.8, with a high GPA. I still got a job in my field after I graduated. But I had a story behind just doing that. I was able to create wonderful experiences by making friends who are still my friends literally 6 years later. And I was able to study abroad, have these highlight moments that I believe I will really remember for the rest of my life. You know how certain memories fade as you get older? There's certain things in my life that will always be a highlight because that was when I decided to follow a side quest and see what will happen there. And also, like I said, I could tie it back to another story. Like when I said with me being a child, it wasn't just wanting to be a film director or a creator or a screenwriter. I had a vision for just creativity in general, like creativity, designing, wanting to have my own makeup business, wanting to be an entrepreneur, wanting to have financial wealth. These are things that I desired at such a young age, but I didn't know how to put it all together or how didn't I yeah, I just didn't know how to put it all together. But as I got older, more resources, more opportunities on the internet, I was able to pursue some of the things that I was interested in high school and then I'm doing in my 20s. And guess what? While pursuing the big goal, which is get your education and get your job in your field, I was able to create a beauty brand, create a makeup products, made some lip glosses, got in magazines, got my products in a beauty store. Why? Because I chose to say, well, I wonder what happened if I do this. I feel like we need to be more curious about our lives. We need to think and wonder and ask the questions like, I wonder what happened if I pursue this. I wonder what will happen if I do this, if I try this, if I allow myself to get in this space. What will what will happen? Because we know what happens. All I'm gonna say is we know what happens when we do what society tell us to do. And guess what? That world will always be there of getting your education and getting a job in your industry. That world will always be there. They will be ready to have the doors open for you to just come back home to good old Uncle Sam, right? But we don't know what's gonna happen like if we just take a chance on other stuff. But and like I said, going getting a job and getting an education, that is stability. That is something that's going to make a person feel comfortable. I think people should strive and and go towards stability. Obviously that's what I do. I'm not 100% just a complete creative maker where I'm just out here pursuing all side quests and just trying to make it. Like, obviously I'm educated and career focused, but I create that space to allow myself to get there. And that's why I have so much, and that's why I think, you know, it's fun. It's fun. It can be hard and stressful because most of the time, you want those things to work out. You want your side quests to work out more than your big quests because then that means you're really, you're stepping and you're working literally on your gifts. And most of the time, our jobs don't allow us to work completely in our gifts. But I'm here to say, like, let's try it. Let's get into it. Let's get into us getting electives, getting hobbies. I'm here for it. So, for like I said, in 2023, this is my plan. Um, I think you have to, if a person wanted to do the same thing, it's best to reflect, spend a lot of time alone, and figure out, where you want to be in life, what you want to do, right? And make sure you have those steps that you need to make, but also spend some time to create spaces for other ideas. And these ideas allow them to come and go. And whatever stick, just write that down and start creating a plan and an action plan with a date to actually do the things that you're really interested in. And it doesn't have to be anything that's going to be a whole week or month journey. It could be so simple as like, hey, I'm a parent and, I take care of my kids. I go to work. I'm busy. But I want to, what would my life look like if I decide to start having more self care in my schedule? Like I plan it out. I schedule self care or once a month or twice a month. What will my look like? What will my life look like when I start doing that? So that is what I'm talking about. I really want you guys to know that side projects, our gifts, our natural ability. It's not just for the celebrities. It's not just for the rich folks. That we can do it too. Like Pharrell says in his song, "You could do it too." Like we could do it too. We might have to put more effort into creating that space and creating that moment. But once we figure out, like, hey, this is what we want to try, let's do it. Like, really, let's get into it. I really think it's important. Um, I remember listening to a podcast where there was a hospice nurse, and she said that a lot of people who were transitioning into death, there was a good amount of people who said that they wish that they planned more time for fun. And I remember listening to that podcast, and I was just like, yeah, we as society need to plan more time for fun. We need to put that in our schedule. We need to schedule it out. It's very important. We the truth is, you know, death is promise. Life and death, those are death is really the only thing promised to us that we know is going to happen, and every day we as society is getting closer, and we're moving towards the transition. It's true. So if when you listen to elderly people and they're getting close to passing on, moving on from this world, and they're telling you that they wish they spend more time having fun, and they rarely regret, oh, I wish I didn't call out that day at work, or I wish I would have went to work on that Wednesday in the middle of June. I wish I would have went in instead of calling out. No one is saying that. They're not. People life is about the experiences we make, the memories we make and have, and our human interactions with each other. That's what life is about. And it's important to plan it out. People are transitioning, and, they're talking about how they wish they had more time with their loved ones, or they wish they could have another second with their loved ones, or they regret not spending time with certain people or doing certain things. Y'all, we have to do our side missions. We have to do our side quests before it gets too late. Anything could happen. A person could be, you know, just responsible for themselves one day. The next thing you know, a person could be responsible for their children, their parents. As we get older, as the 20 and 30-year-olds get older, the parents get older. When you really think about it, when you're a child, you're a child. That's period. You're an infant. You're a kid. You going to school all the way to 12th grade. Then you graduate, and then you in your 20s just trying to figure out. Some people graduate, some people join the military, some people work, some people do both. But you're in your 20s just trying to figure out, and then you finally feel like you got some momentum going, towards your late 20s, your early 30s, and then, you get married, you have kids, and now you 30, and you have to, you're taking care of your kid for 18 years, for 18 years, meaning like you have to give them certain things. You're required by law to provide for them for those 18 years. So, you're 30 or whatever, early late 20s when you had them, and now You know, you're no longer 30 no more. You're in your 40s, and now, you know, your kids are leaving. So now you got a moment for yourself, right? You're in your 40s. And then your parents are also getting older. So your parents are the grandma and grandpa. And who knows what health they're in. There's people out there who might got to take care of their grandparents now in their 40s after they took care of the kids. And then next thing you know, you're in your 50s and you're in your 60s. And is that when you retire? Some people not retiring at that time, but that's when you retire at, like, let's just say late 50, late, 60s. That's when you retire, and that's when you have all the time to go out to the beaches, to get to the jet ski, to go travel. I mean, you can still do those things, but like, that's just assuming that we even going to make it that far. You know, we have to start living for now as well. We have to. I think about now. We, the 20 and 30-year olds are saying when they go to brunch, especially in the DMV, and you're tired. You're tired after brunch. You go home, you're knocked out, or think about the holidays when you get the itis, you knocked out. So what's gonna happen when you 70 and you can't control? You tired. You can't control it. You're gonna get older. We're gonna get older. We're gonna get tired as we get older. I mean, like, you slowly see it in your 20s and 30s. Look at that. When you have like a little 10-year-old and they just running. They're like, kids literally run everywhere. Like, you're like, what the heck? Like, you're in school, the kids run to their classroom. You in a parking lot, kids run to their car. Like, they run. As adults, we are not running. And I'm speaking to just the 20 and 30-year-olds. Ain't nobody got the energy to just be running to their cars. So what's going to happen when a person is 70 years old? There are obviously healthy people 70-year-old, but what I'm saying is, like, you slowly get tired. And is that when you're going to want to go to out your city? Is that when you decided, I got the time now to travel out my city? Newsflash, I remember I was watching a video where there was a lady, she was a vegan, she was very much healthy, and she was in her 70s, and she said that she felt like she's on a new journey, restarting her life. And I just thought it was so beautiful because she basically been vegan for some time. She was in her 70s and she started documenting her journey on YouTube. So a lot of opportunity came, and it was like, this is beautiful, this is amazing. But she also shared that although she's starting a new life and it's just the beginning for her in her 70s, she said that her friends were dying. They were passing away. And it was making her sad that most of her friends were gone. And it's just like, life is just a lot. I'm saying all this to say, like, there's more to life than just work and school. And we have to be healthy. We have to be in shape. I have to do it for myself. I gotta work out. I gotta lose some weight as well. But I'm saying all this to say because we have to live life that we love. Live a life that we love. I find that, are we living a life that we're just tolerating? I think about when I'm on vacation. And when I'm on vacation, I am pumped. I am happy. I'm excited. I'm that girl who be like, "Ooh, we should move here." Like, I can see myself moving here. But you ever wonder if you actually, I wonder what happened if I do move here. You know? Like, why not? And that's why I love, like, YouTube, because you could tap into spaces where there is that person that took a chance. Like, hey, I'm going to move here. I'm going to live here. I'm from the States, but I'm going to move here. I'm going to live here. There's people that do that. And I just think it's a beautiful thing, because it's like, this person could have been a nurse, right? Or accountant in the States. And she said, hey, I'm going to find a remote job as an accountant and still be an accountant, but I'm no longer the accountant that goes in the office every day and that lives in the States. I'm going to be an accountant that works remote, but now I'm living in Mexico. Just like think about that. When it comes to our side quests, it doesn't have to be this big black or white situation like I pick you over you. It could be like, let's add this in. But if you want to replace it, you can too. If you want to say I'm not accounting no more and I'm just moved to Mexico and that's it, and I'm working at this completely different industry doing remote work, that's fine too. There's a lot of people that make a pivot and make it change, but the whole point is like when that person tell you their story, it's just a beautiful thing because it's like, man, like it makes you feel like, wow, like this person, is this age and they experienced so many different things and they didn't feel like they had to just be this one person till death. And that's all this episode is really about. Just putting that seed in your mind to really think about creating a space for you to allow yourself to take yourself to another level or to explore and experience something that you've been wanting to explore. And when I say that, make sure you think about your gifts, make sure you think about your talents, and that could help you figure out what your side projects are and what your side missions are. I appreciate you guys for listening to today's episode. If this is something that you're interested in, um, thank you guys for listening to today's episode. Thank you guys for listening to today's episode. If this topic was interesting, please like and share. Please also leave a comment on your thoughts. We also have social media platforms that you can follow and join the community. We are on Instagram. We are on YouTube. We also have a Facebook community page where we are trying to grow a sisterhood of ladies who talk and connect with each other. And we are you can follow us at She's Champion. So thank you so much for listening to this podcast. If you listen to Apple Podcasts or on the YouTube channel, I appreciate you very much. And please, like I said, join us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at She's Champion. Bye.